The Boise rental market is hot. Just this past month of 2025, Boise, Idaho had the largest rate of rent growth among the nation's 100 largest cities. Hello everybody, Benj Foreman here with Triple Cord Real Estate, and I am back. Now I know it's been a couple months since I've posted. It's actually been the longest amount of time that I've gone without posting a video since I started this channel, so I seriously apologize.
I'm sorry.
It's not because I haven't been involved in real estate. In fact, I've just been too busy. Helping other clients and doing other real estate ventures. So I apologize for not posting.
I'm sorry.
But I hope to be back now and back to my normal 3 videos per month schedule. Well, in this video, I want to talk about a really interesting topic, and that is rents. What is the Boise rental market like here in the Treasure Valley? So according to apartmentlist.com, our rents went up here percentage-wise more than anywhere else in the United States. So just this past month, July of 2025, our rents rose 1.5%. But what was interesting is that the national rent average actually went down this past month by 0.8%. So with that increase, the median rent here in Boise is now at $1,306 per month, which is about $100 less than the US national average. The national average is $1,402. So our rents here in Boise are similar to what you would pay in Columbus, Ohio. The average there, or the median there, is $1,316 per month, or in Phoenix, Arizona, where the median there is $1,303. So the median rent in Boise is 6.9% lower than the national average. And when it comes to the nation's 100 largest cities, Boise is ranked number 69 when it comes to rent prices. Number 1 on that list is Irvine, California. Irvine has the highest rent prices in the nation. The median rent there is $3,055 per month. Number 2 on the list is San Francisco with a rent of $2,999. That's the median rent there. San Jose is number 3. And what I thought was interesting is the top 10 cities that have the most expensive rents, 6 of those are found in California. Number 100 on the list is Toledo, Ohio. They have the cheapest rents in the country. The median rent there is $866 per month. Now, to be honest, I don't really know how apartmentlists.com find what the median rent prices are here in the valley. Seems to me like they're a little bit off. I don't know of too many apartment buildings that will rent for $1,306 per month here in the city. Usually you're gonna expect to pay anywhere between $1,800 to $1,900 per month for a 2-bedroom, 2-bath apartment. But even if there's a difference between what apartmentlists.com says the median is here and what really the reality on the ground is here, it doesn't really matter. What matters is they're using the same algorithm across the country. And so the data that they're showing actually shows us what really is happening here in Boise relative to the rest of the country. And what the data is showing us is that Boise rent prices are increasing faster than anywhere else in the country. Now, if you're gonna rent a 3-bed, 2-bath, single-family home, say 1,300 square feet, in Boise, you should probably expect to pay anywhere between $2,000 to $2,100 per month. I just rented out a property of mine last month for $2,050 in Southwest Boise. And according to the research that I did, I think I was about $50 to $70 under the average for that area. Hey, if you're enjoying the video so far, tap the like button so this video can go out to more people like you. So let me talk about investment properties for a minute. I've had a number of clients over the past year buy some investment properties with me. I just bought an investment property about a month ago as well for myself. And so you're probably wanting to know, is it a good investment to buy an investment property here in Boise? And my answer to that is it depends. Depends on what your goal is. If your goal is to put 25% down, which is the minimum you can put down on an investment property, finance the rest, and then cash flow it, then the answer really is probably not. That's probably not gonna work. And let's take a $400,000 house as an example. You put 25% down, that's $100,000. You get a loan for $300,000 at 7% interest, which is about where it's at for an investment property. Investment properties are gonna have a little higher interest rate. your monthly payment after taxes and insurance is gonna be around $2,250 per month. Now, you could probably rent that house out for around $2,200 per month, so you're really close to making the numbers work. But when you factor in closing costs and then repair costs, you're probably not gonna be cash flowing much. Well, if that's the case, then why even buy an investment property here in Boise? And some of you watching are probably saying, yeah, you never should buy a property here in the Treasure Valley. They're too expensive. It's not worth it if you're buying it as an investment. And it might surprise you to hear me say that you might be right, actually. Not everybody watching should buy an investment property here in the Treasure Valley. But for some people, it could be a good idea. And let me explain some of the reasons why some people are buying investment properties here in the Valley. Number one, people realize that there's a good chance that rent prices will go up in the future. Now, obviously, none of us knows the future, but I find it hard to believe that rent prices 10 years from now are gonna be lower than they are right now. I mean, were rents lower 10 years ago than they are today? Were they lower 20 years ago or 30 years ago? No, they were much lower than they are today. And that's because when it comes to inflation, you may slow the rate of inflation, which is what Donald Trump has done. Great job, Trump. But you never regain what you lost in inflation. Prices never come back down to where they were before there was inflation. So long term, I think it's fairly safe to say that rent prices are gonna be higher in the future than they are today. And if you're financing a property and you lock in your interest rate, your payment is never gonna go up. So if your rents go up, you're only gonna get more cash flow in the future. And number two, some people realize that interest rates could go down. Now, one of the advantages to financing a property when interest rates are high is there's a good chance your monthly payment could be cheaper sometime in the future. If the interest rate goes down and you refinance, immediately your cash flow will increase. Take, for example, a $300,000 loan on a $400,000 house at 7%, which is the example I gave earlier. If the rate goes down to 5%, that's a $400 per month increase in cash flow. So over 1 year, your cash flow increases by $4,800. 10 years, that's $48,000. Number three, and a bigger reason why people are investing in real estate here in the Valley, is people want to diversify their portfolio. Now, I don't think this needs too much explaining, but that's the main reason why I invested in a property just this past month. If you have too much of your money invested in one particular kind of investment, that's risky. If all your money are in stocks and the stock market goes down, you can lose big. But if your money is diversified, maybe you got some in stocks, some in real estate, some in gold maybe, you spread out that risk, and in the long run, that's gonna be to your benefit. So whereas real estate might not have the highest rate of return today, that could change in the future, and I wanna be well positioned when that change does come. Four, and this is by far the most common, people invest in real estate here in Boise because they live here. They understand the market. Is Boise, Idaho the best city to invest in when it comes to real estate? Probably not. You've probably heard of the 1% rule investors sometimes like to refer to. Basically, investors say, it's a good investment if you can rent out the property for 1% of the total cost of the purchase price. So if you buy a home for $400,000, 1% of that would be $4,000. So if you can rent it out for $4,000 per month, then that's a good investment. You're not gonna get that here. Here we're at about 0.5%. If you buy a $400,000 house, you're probably gonna rent it out for somewhere in the neighborhood of $2,000. So if that's the case, why not buy a house in Toledo, Ohio? And the answer is maybe you should. The problem is if you don't live there, it's really hard to manage a property that's across the United States. Personally, I wouldn't do that. I don't know the market in Toledo, Idaho. I don't know what renters are like there. I don't know what is common practice when it comes to real estate in Ohio. I want to invest in an area where I live because I know that market. I can be close by to help manage it. I don't want to invest in something that I don't understand. And that's kind of my number one rule of investment. And that's really why I don't have crypto. I read a book years ago on Bitcoin, and I still have trouble understanding exactly what Bitcoin is. And that's why I haven't invested in it. And that's the main reason why people are investing here in the Treasure Valley. Most people buying investment properties already live here in the valley, and so they want to buy a property for their children or just to park their money because they know this area. And then number 5, another major reason why people are investing in real estate here in Boise is because they recognize that there's a good chance that home values will go up here in the valley. Now, I was gonna give you all the facts and the numbers here, but I'll save it for my next market update. But let me just give you this to think about. Generally speaking, our market has been stable. Property values have risen slightly year over year, where we actually are in the green. We haven't seen huge gains, but when it comes to real estate, prices can pop. Just think back to 2021, where we saw the median increase by about $10,000 here in the valley month over month. Every month it went up $10,000. Now, I hope we don't see that again, and we probably won't, but real estate prices can pop. Think about this. If you were to take that $100,000 that I mentioned earlier and put it in a high yield savings account, you make $300 per month on that. It would take you 3 years to make $10,000 in interest. $10,000 in real estate is really not that much. If your house only goes up $10,000 over 3 years, I would say your house really has not done anything. It could very easily go up $30,000 over 3 years. That wouldn't be out of the ballpark at all. So real estate has the potential to really make you a lot of money. Now, of course, it can go down, but then again, so could your high yields savings account. Is it a slam dunk? Absolutely not. Long term though, I do think that there's a good chance that we'll continue to see a strong demand for housing here in the valley. You might have remembered that 2 years ago, Micron announced that they were building a $15 billion fabrication plant. Well, that is well on the way. There's like 20 some cranes down at Micron, but the big announcement came 2 months ago. Back in June, just 2 months ago, Micron announced that they're building another fabrication plant after this one is completed. So they're investing another $15 billion, $30 billion total. So it's expected that these 2 plants will bring about 15,000 jobs to the valley. Meta is also building a massive data center in Kuna. We have plans to expand in Avamore, some 10,000 units, down in Southwest Boise, 3,500 homes. So companies, factories are building, and expanding. Thank you so much for watching. As always, if you have any questions about real estate here in the Treasure Valley, please reach out to me.